Welcome to season 5. I'm calling this one Drift Talk. So, anyways, welcome TougeSW or Touge Southwest. That's what it's short for. This is series 5 of episode 1. This one's going to be titled Drift Talk. Live every Thursday night at 10 p.m. ish. I know I should put an ish because I took a little longer tonight. But it's all for good reason. Some reason that didn't update at all, but it will in a sec. There it is. And then all episodes is going to be on TougeSW. I need to clean it up a little so I can actually sort each season. So it'll be easier to go through and whatnot. But yeah, so let's begin. I'm your host, Wandering Raven, and what is Touge Southwest? Well, long story short, it started as a project, and a couple years ago, my mom passed away, and then I decided to use this as a podcast to basically do more like a vlog and do some stuff, record things, and part of the whole car community again. So technically, basically rebuilding my confidence again, rebuilding my life again, kind of make myself feel good to be out there again. And it's been working because I wouldn't have been drifting my 350Z as a backup a couple weeks ago. This is something I've been doing for so long. I just miss doing it, and I'm just getting older, and But regardless, we're here. Touge Southwest is basically what it is now. Right now, it is a podcast. It is something I do cover events and whatnot. I have future plans. I also use it as a build project. And I hope in the future I can build off and actually get other people involved as well. So there's a lot of potential here that I'm working with, and a lot of ideas that I have, and a lot of stuff that I would love to see happen, but you never know what will happen. So yeah, that's pretty much Touge Southwest. It's just basically Drift Talk right now. It's a podcast. It's a image hosting. It's a video hosting and cool stuff. So what's coming up? I should have past events in here, but there was nothing done last weekend for actual events. Actually, I take that back. There was one. And that was a really cool one. So, but I think I'm trying to remember. Yeah, it was last weekend, wasn't it? Yes, it was. Okay. So, on that account, what did happen last weekend? I'll go ahead and bring this up. I normally do this all the time. Bring this up and show what I've done last weekend. Okay, so here. Really simple. We did this is what we done. Basically it's an all girls meet. It was a fun night, technically. I'll explain that in a minute, but let's see. I don't think there was any reels that probably got tagged in something at least, but there it is. Okay. This is the ladies one. This is the one I got tagged in. So yeah, this is what happened. It was pretty cool. They did some little interviews and whatnot. It's very cool. Is this the other one? Or is this? This is... Oh yeah, this is it. Everyone's funny. Yeah, that was the last event. They're talking about doing another one. So we'll get to that one another time. So we got new future ones coming up, which is we got one for Ratson LV. Here, I'll just do this real quick. Ratson LV. Or is it LV Ratson? Probably LV Ratson. Yeah, these people are really cool. And there it is. Cool. Yeah, this is happening. East Craig, I am not a fan of that area, but it's okay. I just don't like Craig. Craig is very busy and is filled with a lot of really, really bad drivers all the time, so it's pretty bad, but regardless, they want to meet there, and that's fine. Actually not that bad. I'll take the S12 out and yeah, go hang out. So that's that one, and then there's this one. These people right here are having the Area 51, which got me was the price actually. But they are, look at this, they are spamming the shit out of this. This Drifter After Dark, Drifter's the movie by Sun. Basically, you know him as Han from Tokyo Drift or Fast and the Furious franchise now. But I guess there's going to be a meet and greet. Some cool music, it sounds like. I guess it's also being hosted by Vibe 99.7. I don't know. I don't listen to that on freaking local radio anymore. It is happening Sunday, April 19th from 6 to 11. So cars, music, and vendors. Somehow I ended up throwing my car into the mix. So we're a few of us, collective is going to be there. So it's gonna be cool. Wish I had like business cards or something I could like at least leave behind, but it is what it is. I don't have time or money just to get some pictures done. So hopefully, because I signed up, I get one of these t-shirts at least, but we'll see what happens when I get there. Well, yeah, this is what I'm doing Sunday night. I'll be Ratson Saturday night. So it's gonna be a pretty crazy weekend. Alright, so let's get to the meat and potatoes of this whole thing. What holds me accountable and what helps me move forward and builds my confidence and keep on going. And hopefully I can inspire others and do their stuff, and maybe I can, do the cool things. As you see here, each project has a name. I call my drift car Project Fair Lady Sylvia because it started out with a V6 motor, and so yeah, I gave it the Fair Lady Sylvia name a while back. I think I'm gonna keep it at that. But turbo rebuild is now done. I've got it done. It took 3 rebuild kits and trying to figure out what exactly failed and how to fix it, and I did it. Long story short, something was missing in the turbo to begin with. That was causing the weird leakage coming from either side of the shaft, and replacing all the gaskets that were like almost like it wasn't meant for it. So yeah, got the turbo reinstalled tonight. Actually, I have to finish hooking up the lines and button it all down, and hopefully this weekend I can start it up again. Alright, now I do have, now moving on to Project Serenity, which is the other S12 that I have. I do have all the stuff that I needed for the front end swap, so I can try to lock down that whole thing. But I'm holding off a little, mainly because of what's happening this weekend. On top of that, the 87 has TN coilovers, but this has TN. I picked up a TN set here, but they have the top hats that I need for my drift car. So I'm trying to think if I'm going to spend a little extra time and swap the top hats on both of those, or if I'm just going to just go ahead and install it and then move on to the drift car and buy better ones. And then I'm like looking at my that, and then I kind of want to do the rear end as well, so I can bring it together, because I know it's going to be like sideways, like almost like a muscle car to feel, and I don't want it to feel like that. I want it to be nice and low and cool and ready to take it on. So I do have an R200 diff that I wanted to install and remove the R180. It's probably a good time to. And so yeah, I'm gonna probably talk a little bit about the what I can do and what I can't do kind of stuff. But yeah, that's all the good stuff. So that's technically a rear end swap too, but it's not really an S13 swap for the rear because it's different. So, but there's Project 80, which is it's my 1980 280ZX. It was meant to replace my 350Z. So, but a lot of things happened between then and when I picked up the car back in 2018. Like the motor had a crack in it, even though it was freshly rebuilt. I guess they didn't realize that there was an actual crack. It actually ran pretty decent though, which I find was pretty funny. But yeah, it did work. Just it had a freaking blown motor. So I picked up another one earlier, like mid last year. So sitting in the backyard now, covered. But I hope when I get the drift card out of the garage, excuse me, out of the garage, I can actually get the motor in there and I can do some inspection and hopefully prep it to install. I mean, the L28 is not that bad. There's a lot of little mods that I have ready to go, but it should be not that bad. Hopefully I can get this rolling in and I can start restoring it some, and I can treat that as my new Z daily instead of the other one and move forward from there. Should be really, really cool, but yeah. I call it Project 80. I figure it's a good name for now. That's all I give it a really good name. Alright, so here's the new thing I wanted to introduce into this one. There's this thing called the S12 database. The reason why I'm doing this is every freaking website's dead, dude. I'm not gonna beat the bush about that. You know, you have places like Sylvia that's pretty much gone. You have Club S12, they're gone. You have S12Sylvia.com, they're gone. The moment you move your community to Facebook groups, consider the community's dead, and then they're about to give up completely on their website. Because Facebook is a different area. I've always never liked it as a group or a community-driven thing. I always felt like it's like everyone giving up on the community and giving away the community to Facebook. So, yep. Especially, I don't like Facebook. I never really did. I'm kind of phasing myself away from it to begin with. Yeah, even places like Vegas Strip, I hate to say that, but they threw their community on on Facebook, and I feel like they kind of like abandoned their opening up the floodwaters to like new grassroots people and all that stuff. Or all they have is a website to sell tickets and come out and draft, and that's it. They don't really do anything community wise really anymore. I mean, I miss the good old days where they used to have like community and stuff, and they had like just to get together for the community, just for like go down and hang out, me and do like their own little car meets. But yeah, that even all that's gone. Not saying that they gave up because they still host Vegas Drift events. They're barely holding on to that. And what is that noise? But yeah, I don't know. It's just, it is what it is. So each and every one of these, I'm going to be doing a new entry pretty much. I'm going to take everything I've done. Like, because the archive.org has all this information. I'm not going to sit there and reach out to the Club S12 people. I don't know them that well. Plus, one of the owners there treat me like shit anyway. So I'm like, I'm not even going to bother with that. So I'm going to move forward and just build from what I know. Everything is currently on archive.org. Sooner or later, that might go down because the government's doing weird shit, AI's doing weird shit, and so much weird shit's going on. So I'm going to do everything I can. I'm going to manually scrape the site for different things. Like I've scraped the this year. I've got everything needed for the S12 swap. So during this moment, I wanted to talk a little bit about it. Let's get a little closer to it because I can't even see that from here. So this is the definite well done coilover part list for the S12. It was given by 86. Oh yeah, it is 86 200 SX. Really cool person at the time when on the forums. A lot of people that I know. Well, I got to meet Andrew, but I never got to meet Sterling. Artie was actually really cool when he was in the game. But technically, I believe I updated each and every link. So that's what I'm going to be doing, is updating all that. Technically, the MR2 shocks that they once had, that was like 15 years ago, that link is dead. But you can technically find any MR20, MR2, AW11, or an SR20. Should just automatically work. They're just inserts. Or any 280ZX inserts work. I used to use Tokiko's 280ZX inserts from the front. And they worked great. So that's always a plus. So just keep in mind, you can always use 280ZX ones. The rear ones, technically, this is what I'm going to be doing anyways when I do my rear end swap. Wait, I think I screwed up the link, didn't I? Yeah, I did. Okay. So, oh no, I see what happened. Yeah, I did the little pound. But technically, they were just saying you just need to use these two, and then Fox body shocks in the rear, but I also used a Ford E150 shocks too, which gives it a stronger, meatier freaking closure. It's like when I had my other S12 up, it kept the freaking shock together instead of bringing it down. So that's a good thing because you got these right here. This is what I need to order. You only get one, so you have to order two. So that's $50. And then you have this one here, which is the pull bar springs. These are the great ones for the rear. On the other one, I have the 800-pound ones, which is not listed here. But if I'm going to have this for the dark blue S12, I think I'm going to go with either this one or this one. Probably this one, because it doesn't really, I'm not drifting it, so it should be just fine. But these are the pull bar springs. So yeah, they're all totally linked there. I know somebody had a dead link for the Fox body shocks. Just go to Rock Auto. You can go to your local Auto Smarts or whatever. You can pick them up. Any Fox body, which is in like any 1980s, like 89 would probably work just as good. Or mid 90s E150 shocks. Those are van shocks. Like industrial van shocks for like an E150. So yeah. And then when this person did the whole well done solution, so if we go to Techno Toy Tuning, I believe they just have the whole kit together, so you can actually take it and weld it to your cell. Technically, it's kind of the same way that the 280ZX people do it. But yes, pretty simple, really. These are the camber plates. The only thing I don't like about doing that is the front spindles and stuff like that. I just don't like how that sit. I'd rather have like an actual ball bearings that they sit in. And it's kind of weird. It's a different setup. I like the S13 setup better than the S12s or the 280ZX. So, but yeah, definitely. I just put it all here because this is where you get everything. You get the rear links for the S12, but that's if you have a straight axle, clutch kits, well done coilover kits. This is what I should have basically pointed it to, but technically you take the current one, cut the top hat off and whatnot, and you just weld this on. Well, you cut off the thing at the bottom, that's right, where the original springs sit. And then you weld the stuff on the bottom on, I believe it's, I forgot what exactly. I think that's it. Excuse me, I am really tired. But yeah, that's the kit. That's the S12 wiki. That is what I'm working on. Each and every week, I'm going to have a new submission submitted. If not, we'll work on it that night, and it'll probably expand our time. I know I'm pretty much running into a lot of time here. 22 minutes, but that's not too bad. So yeah, I figured I'd show that. I know there was another entry too. S12. It's live, so you can always go. I'll probably change it over in the future, but there's that. Here's the actual guide itself. This is what I'm doing. Is this right here-ish? Yeah. Pretty much that's what I'm doing on mine. Option 1. Got different options for what you're doing. They do make a coilover kit for the S12s, but you still have to do one of the options up here. Basically, all they do is take an S13 coilover and they just take it apart. But kind of, well, in the rear, anyways. Brake options that I put in here, it was all. I tried to cover everyone that actually wrote the first article, and I try to update it as much as I can. So I even did my own little carb swap guide. Carb swapping at VG30, which is a V6. So, and I need to fix this. So that's what we'll do next week. Or for next week. This is a full KA swap. So that's going to be a good thing. And I'll try to keep it all within here so you can actually hit like stuff like that, click the thing, do the thing, and I'll maybe in the future, if I'm not too busy with time, I'll start redesigning this too. But meanwhile, we have recent posts, even the CA18 swap, which is at the time, which was back in 2017. I just copied and pasted. I need to go through and fix them. But I was able to grab all the original images, so what I like about it. I did. And then you have all the Nico Club stuff, which I think they will keep on continuing with their community because that's what they do. I mean, they do host at Route 66. They do other events too, and it's all on their site. And it's a shame that some places that you like so much, they just give up. But it is what it is. I mean, one person can't run everything all the time, so. Or two people sometimes either. Sometimes some people need to open up the reins, and it is what it is. So, but yeah, but that's it. That's it for tonight's talk. So, let's see. Time for a good night. So, thanks for hanging out. Thanks for listening. We'll be doing more stuff by the next event. I mean, by the next talk, and a lot more of the coverage on the weekend. So have a good night and bye bye.